Ironing out the logistics of your move can be a headache, so let Behringer Moving and Storage handle it for you. Visit BehringerMoving.com.
Good evening and welcome into the Monday, February 9th edition of the WHKY News. I'm Rob Eastwood. Topping our news tonight, while churchgoers were heading to services in Hickory Sunday, a situation developed not far from one house of worship that involved a confrontation between law enforcement and a man reported to be armed. Ariana Mack has the details.
Thanks, Rob. At 9:35 a.m. on Sunday, here at the El Paso Mexican restaurant on North Center Street, an officer-involved shooting occurred. More details have been released. The officer saw a white male, later identified as 35-year-old Robert Mitchell Lester of Hickory, walking towards his patrol vehicle with a knife in his hand. The officer exited his vehicle and confronted Lester. Lester continued to walk toward the officer in an aggressive manner and verbally challenged the officer. Additional officers arrived on scene and gave Lester numerous commands to drop the knife he was holding. Lester continued to challenge the officers, then proceeded to flee on foot towards St. Luke's United Methodist Church on 16th Avenue Northwest, where church members were arriving for service. A K-9 officer released his K-9 in an attempt to apprehend Lester. Lester attempted to stab the K-9 as he continued to flee towards the property of the church. Officers continued to pursue Lester as he ran across the property of St. Luke's. One officer fell to the ground as he and Lester approached 16th Avenue Northwest. Lester turned toward the officer with the knife in his hand, and officers fired their weapons, striking Lester. Officers took Lester into custody and immediately began providing first aid. He was transported to Carolina's Medical Center, where he was last reported in stable condition. The officers involved in this incident have been placed on administrative leave pending the results of the investigation. If you have any details, please contact the Hickory Police Department. Reporting for WHKY in Hickory, I'm Ariana Mack.
Thanks, Ariana. The State Bureau of Investigation is looking into the shooting. Be sure to check our website, WHKY.com, for updates on this story. A Caldwell County man was killed in a crash on Sunday. The deceased is 64-year-old Erwin S. Collins of Lenoir. Sunday at approximately 2:30 p.m., the North Carolina State Highway Patrol responded to US 321 in Caldwell County. A 2007 Chevrolet passenger car was traveling north on 321 and crossed the center line. The Chevrolet then drove off the roadway and collided with a guardrail, causing it to overturn. The driver of the Chevrolet, Erwin S. Collins, passed away from his injuries at the scene of the collision. He was not wearing his seatbelt. The front seat passenger, a Lenoir woman, was flown to Johnson City Medical Center in Tennessee with serious injuries. A backseat passenger was transported to Watauga Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. The initial investigation concluded that speed or impairing substances were not contributing factors in the collision. Our condolences to the family of Mr. Collins. A tree fell into a home in Burke County over the weekend. The Triple Community Fire Department was dispatched to a structure collapse Saturday in Valdez. Responders arrived minutes after dispatch to find a large tree that fell through the center of a house. According to reports, the tree struck the children's bedroom and destroyed part of the structure. The occupants of the residence were home and in the affected areas at the time of the incident, but were able to get to safety. The incident occurred while the area was under a wind advisory. It reportedly left debris scattered across the yard and inside. No injuries were reported in the incident. Pets were rescued from a fire in Burke County. The Morganton Department of Public Safety responded to a structure fire just after 4 p.m. Friday at 200 Irvin Street in Morganton. Upon arrival, crews found a detached utility building that was heavily involved in fire. Firefighters quickly initiated suppression efforts and were able to bring the fire under control. During a search of the structure, responders found several animals inside. 3 cats and 1 dog were rescued. No human injuries were reported. It is not believed that the fire was set intentionally. However, the specific cause remains undetermined. Agencies involved include the Morganton Department of Public Safety, Burke County EMS, the City of Morganton Building Inspector, and Burke County Rescue Squad. In today's crime report, a convicted felon was arrested on gun charges in Catawba County. That and more in our roundup of local law enforcement. In local sports, Jason Savage has a recap of the first weekend of baseball action at Lenore-Rhine. It's always good to hear that baseball's back. In community focus, details on a new federal task force that is seeking to fight crime in the Hickory Metro. We are on over-the-air TV every weekday at 5:30 and 10 p.m. on channel 14.2 and now live at 5:30 on the WHKY YouTube channel and 10 o'clock on the WHKY Facebook page. We're also in multiple cable systems, including Compass in Morganton. I'm Rob Eastwood, and this is the WHKY News.